What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new Pokemon Duel video. Today we're going to be going over inventory management as a free-to-play player in Pokemon Duel. It's super important, so I definitely wanted to make a video on it and talk a little bit about it. We've also got a blue booster and a rainbow booster to pop open and a package from Trainer Tips Nick. Let's get right into it. So I figured we might as well start off with the box from Nick because, you know, why not? Box openings are awesome. Looks like we've got a white and gold Trainer Tips pin there, which is really cool. Oh geez, knocking over my whole setup here. I actually really wanted one of those pins, and I tried to order one, but they were sold out. So I waited for the next run of them to come out, and they got sold out again, and the other one got sold out as well before I could actually order them. So that was pretty unfortunate. I was busy that day when the video dropped where they were actually released on, so unfortunately I couldn't get one, but I do have one now. Go ahead and see. Look at that, guys. That's so cool. Thank you so much, Nick. I really appreciate it. Hey, man, really been enjoying your Duel videos. They've kept me interested in the game. Found these on eBay and thought they'd make for a fun video, so I grabbed 2 random lots. I had no idea what was in them when I ordered. Hopefully you get some good pulls. Keep it up, Nick. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it, dude. Let's see what we got in here. Oh wow. Okay, so I thought this was all just like wrapping here, but apparently it's actual figures. So we got a T-Tar right now. Sick. All right. So we got, for those of you that don't know, these are basically Pokemon Duel figures. They're basically real life Pokemon Duel figures. They're called the Pokemon Trading Figure Game figurines, and it was like a thing that came out in 2007. It was just like their impact on the figure sort of trading figure game market. And yeah, these things are awesome, and I'm going to be making a series on them for those of you that don't know. So if you have any of these that you'd like to send in, that you'd like to sell me or otherwise, please contact me in some way. Yeah, we got the T-Tar. Go ahead and see what we got from this other one here. Oh, we got a Talo. That's pretty cool. I don't have a Talo yet. All right, so I'll show you guys that real quick. These are in like 2 layers of packaging here, so it takes a little bit of unpacking to get these out. But yeah, we got Talo. It just spins really well, actually. Wow, definitely a solid spin on that one. Has yellow move, quick attack, wing attack, and another wing attack spinner there with a tiny little miss spot, so you guys can see that real quick. Look at that. These things are so cool. Wow. All right, so let's just keep popping them open. There's a whole bunch of them here. We got a Snorlax. There we go. Add another one of the collection there, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So here's our second Snorlax added to the collection. Very nice there. You guys know the spinner from the last video where we got some of these, but these things are awesome. Like, wow. All right, we got a Bayleaf. I don't know if the spinner's too great, but the ability, Spicy Secret or whatever it's called, pretty interesting. So basically, Bayleaf is a Pokemon that benefits from being spun on your own turn, okay? Its attacks will do 20 more damage when they're actually used on your turn. So, for example, Body Slam is really the only attack that it has. It takes up over half the spinner here, but it has 60 damage if you actually spin that on your turn as opposed to on your opponent's turn. It's 2 MB Pokemon too, so definitely pretty solid there. Holy cow, Nick. There's so many of them. All right, so we got a bunch more of these to pop open here. We've got a Gyarados. Oh man, Gyarados is so cool. Looks like the tail is properly attached, unlike ours, so that's a definite step in the right direction there. Look at that. That spinner, oh my god, that spin is so nice. I love it. Oh wow. Okay, so we got a Pikachu here. I think there are actually 2 different Pikachus that were made. One of them, I believe, has a yellow move, and one of them might not. I know that there were 2 of them because one of them has sort of like a weird kicking pose, and one of them looks like it's just sort of jumping forward there. Ooh, this is falling off. Let's go and put that back on. I'll show you guys what this one looks like. Wow. Very cool. Look at that. Awesome. All right, so this one has quick attack. So this is the yellow one. Has Thunder Shock for 30, Thunder Wave, purple 2-star, paralyzes the opponent, and Thunder is 100 damage. So very cool there. I love that little pose too. Just looks so intense, you know? All right, next up, we have got Pinsir. So Pinsir's pretty awesome. has the same moves that it does on Pokemon Duel. Does it have the same? It does have the same 2 MP there, so the spinner looks a lot alike. But yeah, definitely a very awesome Pokemon. Great spin there as well. Holy crap. Hello there. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we got Machamp. Whoa. I have not seen Machamp yet. Holy crap, guys. Look at that spinner right there. And then just the figure in general. Like, my goodness. Look at that boss right there carrying that big freaking rock. My goodness. That is really, really cool. Wow. Love this one. Oh my god. Dude. What are you doing, man? Playing with my emotions like this. Oh my god, we got Entei right now. You guys, oh wow, Entei is sick. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Okay. Look at that figure first off. That thing is awesome. Oh, it's falling off. That's why it's not spinning, right? There we go. Okay, so Entei is awesome. The legendary dogs in general are like my favorite figures. Their poses are just so cool. Like, wow. That's just powerful, my friend. Like, look at that. Then it's got a neat ability as well. Can't be affected by weight. It's got flamethrower, stomp, and another stomp there. So with a pretty sizable miss as well. So pretty cool figure right there. All right, what else do we got? We have got another T-Tar right there. Awesome, awesome, awesome. T-Tar is always gonna be great. And honestly, because of its ability, right, on Earthquake there, it's got the same type of spin ability, so it's gonna make for some really, really interesting matches when we do eventually get Pokemon Duel in real life started up. Like, if you look at like the spinner, I mean, it's got a pretty solid shot at rolling that Earthquake, and Earthquake is a super fun move in the actual game, so I can't imagine how fun it's gonna be having actual real figures. All right, we got another Pinsir. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Still got that nice spin. All right, next up, let's see what we got. We got another Tailo. Very cool, very cool. Definitely nice to get quite a few of those Pokemon that aren't super, super powerful, okay? But they still have the yellow moves, which is really, really neat because, like, the yellow moves didn't come out. For those of you that don't know, and I'm sure very few of you know, yellow moves did not come out in the trading figure game until the 3rd set, and the 3rd set wasn't actually mass-produced, so it's super rare to find figures now that actually do have those yellow moves, and important to the game, to the overall balance of it, because some Pokemon had really, really big purple spinners, and those were hard to counter or even really go up against. Next up, we've got another Gyarados. That is what I'm talking about. Oh man. See, okay, there's not a whole lot else to say here, but these doubles are actually going to help out so much when making these in real life Pokemon Duel videos. I do think that it's going to be really huge for it because you actually have to have multiple copies of them for your own decks, for your own loadouts, for your own teams, whatever you want to call it. But you also have to have multiples because if you're going to have someone else you're going up against, most likely they're not going to have very many, if any, of these figures. So you have to have enough for you and your opponent. And if you have 3 of them, 2 of them, however many of whatever Pokemon on your team, you're going to need a lot of them for both people to have the opportunity to use however many they want. Okay, and our final package gonna be, oh man, how appropriate. We got another Snorlax there. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh man, I love Snorlax so much, so much. Such a good Pokemon. So here's the full package. Awesome, awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Nick. I really do appreciate it. This is gonna do absolute wonders for my content as a whole, and I can't say thank you enough. Also, we are definitely going to be rocking this thing in the future. My goodness, that thing is just, oh, beautiful. All right, so on that note, I feel like we should go ahead and pop open some boosters. We might as well. We just popped open a whole bunch of real life boosters, so we might as well just do some normal boosters on our own here. We got this blue booster, probably not going to be great. We got some just common stuff. Okay, Carvana. We have an Ingot Uncommon. We've also got a Rare Metal Common. Now we're going to go ahead and pop open this Rainbow Booster. Come on, give me something good on the free-to-play account. Please. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. EX there. Mewtwo. Fantastic stuff. Another Bidoof right there. Carvana. Ingot Common. Rare Metal Uncommon. God, I just, like, spazzed out for a second and didn't know English. Wow. Okay, so we pulled the Mewtwo. That is so cool. Love Mewtwo. All right, so now we're going to go to our messages. As you guys can see, we've got 14 Pokemon that we need to go ahead and get, or otherwise something. Okay, we have 14 things we need to put in our inventory right now. So First, we're going to go through our normal checks that I would do on a free-to-play account, and I do on this account in particular. So we're going to go to fusions, and we're going to see that we do have a couple things that we can fuse into our Pokemon that we maybe don't want to save. For instance, we have a few common cubes. Now, on a free-to-play account, you're probably not going to have very many uses for common cubes, at least early on anyways. Obviously, there are some exceptions to this, but right now it's not important to us. So what we're going to do is we're going to fuse them into our Shelgon because it's free to fuse them, so you don't even have to worry about conserving your ingots, conserving all of your gold. So that's just something that can free up inventory space really, really easy right off the bat without using anything else. Next up, you're going to find that you have a whole bunch of these common rare metals and common ingots, or just ingots in general. Now, I would recommend personally that you just fuse away all of your common rare metals. They're just not very useful to keep around. They're not very useful in general. I mean, like, you have Pokemon like Vibrava, for example, which are uncommon Pokemon that you can go ahead and get a few levels up off of just a few rare metals, okay? Just a few common rare metals even. So we're gonna go ahead and fuse them away into our Vibrava, get it up to level 3 right now. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and level up Supersonic a couple times. So that's definitely really useful in the long run, and I'm pretty happy about it. So now you're saying, well, Chicken, you're doing a good job, but if you look up in this top left corner here, you're gonna see that you don't have enough spots to house 14 Pokemon yet. Well, fear not. We're going to go ahead and do something else. We're gonna check what Pokemon we can sell and what ingots we can sell. So we sold our ingots now, and I still don't have enough room to go ahead and take all 14 of those Pokemon in. Well, you can go ahead and check first off if you have any common Pokemon that you can get very, very easily. You're gonna want to sell them. I mean, there's no reason to keep them, okay? Because you can get as many of them as you want if you go ahead and complete the quests for them. So for instance, the Plusle I just went ahead and sold, I got 250 or 230 or whatever, 232 gold specifically. So that was just some free gold, and we freed up a spot. Now you can go ahead and check out a lot of your uncommon Pokemon and make sure that they're not going to be relevant, but and there's not really a guide on this. I just sort of have figured out over time what uncommon Pokemon you're going to want to keep and what ones you're really not going to need to keep. So for example, we're going to go ahead and check out Charmander. Charmander has Smoke Screen, which is a decent sized purple move that gives your opponent weight, has a 40 damage physical, a 10 damage physical, and 12% miss. So it's not an overwhelmingly good Pokemon. And if you take a look at Charmeleon, that's going to be the Pokemon you're going to want to evolve into Charizard. And I don't really think that you need to have your Charmander. So we're going to go ahead and just sell Charmander because there's no reason for us to keep it. At this point, we do have 14 spots for our Pokemon and other whatever cubes or anything like that. But we are going to continue to go through our inventory here. So we've got Aeron right now next up, who has Protect, has Big Bite, which if the battle opponent's type is Steel, this Pokemon takes no damage and the opponent is knocked out. Well, that sounds like a move that might be useful in a future Steel gym, or possibly a Fire gym, depending on what gets buffed as a weakness for Fire. But basically, it could have use in the future, so I would recommend keeping that in this case. So next up, we've got Torchic. Now, Torchic only has a 40 damage and 30 damage physical move, so you're probably thinking we're going to get rid of it, but we're not, because Blaziken hasn't come out as an EX or a rare or anything like that yet, and it most likely will be an EX. Now, Blaziken, if it does come out in the future and is somewhat relevant in the meta, you might actually want to use Torchic with a Desperate Attack plate to be able to evolve it into a Combuskin and then finally a Blaziken. So even though it looks like Torchic isn't going to be relevant to our team ever, we are going to keep it just until Blaziken eventually does come out. Now, in the case of Piplup, we already have Empoleon, and Empoleon isn't great when you go ahead and evolve it. I mean, it's okay, but it's definitely not worth that massive 30 damage physical move on Piplup, and it's not worth the massive sizes of those miss spots. So we definitely can go ahead and sell Piplup and really not feel anything about it. So there's basically a just step-by-step process you can go through with every Pokemon to figure out if you're going to want to keep it or not as a free-to-play player. So let's go through Hoot Hoot here. First off, you want to check its MP. If it's a 3 MP Pokemon, it can probably still have a bad spinner and still be somewhat usable, so you're probably going to want to err on the side of caution when judging it, even if it doesn't look good. If it has an evolution that hasn't come out yet, definitely keep it if you can. If it has a lot of purple on the spinner or a high starred purple move on it, that's a pretty decent size of it, then I would recommend keeping it just because of utility, and if it does eventually get buffed for an event or a gym cup or whatever you want to call it, then it is going to be eventually useful. If it has a high amount of physical damage on it, then it'll probably be useful. If it has yellow on it in a decent amount of the spinner, then you're going to want to keep it because it's going to be a budget Mew replacement, because you only really use Mew for utility, and if you have a Pokemon that can fill in that position, even though it's not as good as Mew, it'll be better than not having anything that can fill that utility at all. However, if it doesn't fit any of these categories, then maybe you want to go ahead and sell it. And there you go. Now we can go ahead and grab all the Pokemon we just got from our time booster, and yeah. That's basically it, guys. I've got quite a few people that have been asking me how you actually go about managing your inventory as a free-to-play player, and I do think that that's the best way to go about it. Just making sure that you're analyzing every single Pokemon to make sure that it's not going to be useful in any way whatsoever. But yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Hope to see you back here for the next video, and until then, peace. Seriously though, thanks again, Nick. I really do appreciate it so much. You don't even know, man.